Hey everyone, it's a leg day today. Pretty standard workouts, nothing new that I haven't done before. So I'm not even going to talk about the workout. I had a funeral. It's for a family member that was not very well liked. And it was basically sitcom level of, uh, of comedy. I'm not going to trauma dump or put all my family's business out there. But this was definitely one of the. It's definitely an experience of all time. It was definitely one of the experiences of all time. Uh, it's a lot of complicated emotions because it's your family, of course, but also nobody in the family really liked them. Um, and they've been gone for like 20 years. So I was luckily able to take a backseat role during this funeral. I don't have any memories of this family member, and I basically just gotta see the rest of my family kind of deal with it. So I kind of got to be a bystander during this, but I don't know. It just the classic "you can't speak ill on the dead," which is an interesting it's an interesting phenomenon that we can talk trash about somebody while they're alive, but as soon as they're dead, it becomes very improper to say anything ill about them. Um, I think it is. I don't know. I wouldn't say. I just really wonder why that's a thing. Why we can't speak ill on the dead. Um, and is it because we don't want people to speak ill about us while we're, when we die? I think that might be it. But I mean, nothing really materially changed. Um, they haven't been in our lives for a couple decades now, so nothing really changed. But suddenly, we can't say anything bad about them. So yeah, definitely a lot of complicated emotions. Um, a lot of I don't know. It was very interesting. Um, I had to tell my coworkers because I was trying to get the day off of work, um, and I was trying to find somebody to cover for me, and they were like, "Oh, what do you have going on?" I was like, "Oh, it's a funeral for a family member." They're like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "Don't worry, we don't have to do the song and dance." Um, you know, I was like, "Don't worry, we weren't tight." Um, so yeah, definitely in some ways very lucky. Um, but yeah, I mean, it is one of the few things like I'm usually like pretty dedicated. I try not to miss work for anything, unless I'm like dying. I think unless I have like a fever of 100 degrees or more, even then, you can take Tylenol and stuff. Like funerals are pretty much the only thing I'll actually like, uh, you know, miss work for. Um, the worker has fallen in love with a system that exploits them. Type meme. I'm pretty. You know, I take it pretty seriously going to work. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think it's very important. I think another reason why you don't speak ill of the dead, is because you have to learn to forgive. Not for them because they're dead, but for yourself, and like to let go of all those bad feelings. I guess because when they're still alive, you hold on to those bad feelings as a justification for like not talking to them or not interacting with them. But once they're dead, then you don't have to justify not talking to them anymore, so you can really let go, and forgive. That way you don't hold on to any like bad feelings. You move on with your life. Um, yeah. Again, I don't really want to put my family's business out there, but definitely like the older people in my family who actually did remember him. Um, they were a little bit of denial. It's like, oh, we don't care about them. We don't care about them, but that's more of just like the denial stage of grief. You just don't want to admit, it's easier to just repress those feelings. And so in some ways it was really nice having like a little service. It wasn't a real funeral, the body wasn't there. Body's in another country, as it has been for the past couple decades. So it was kind of just like a memorial thing. We talked a little bit about them. Carlos is in my way. Had to make him get out of the way for these Nordic curls. So yeah. But it was very much sitcoms level of I don't know, complicated emotions. It's comedy is all about something about expectation. What's it called when you have expectations? Not like curbing expectations. Oh man. Whatever. Comedy is when you think it's about to go right and then it goes left. So I think having that memorial service where for somebody that you hate, having a memorial service with somebody who was not very well liked in life, is just, I don't know, it was very funny to me. The fact that, usually funerals are very emotional and you say all these nice things about this person and, it's like, oh, we try to like have a celebration of life. And our service was literally like, we're not going to say anything bad. We're not going to say anything bad. We're not going to say anything bad. Everybody, when they went up to talk, was like, oh, we're like, I'm going to say these very few nice things and nice memories we have of them because we're not here to like trash talk them anymore. We're done trash talking them. I think it was super, I don't know. It was definitely something. But I mean, it kind of just goes with like the things that, I think about of life. There's no like good people or bad people. It's all like, it's kind of just like a summation of the decisions that you make and the things that you do. That's what really your life is. And it's hard to label somebody as good or as bad, because if you label somebody as bad, then any good thing that they do is suddenly like, it like blows your mind. Like you can't even comprehend like, oh, they did a good thing. And if you label somebody as good, then if they do something bad, it like shatters your worldview of them, or shatters your view of them. I think that, I really think that you're just like a summation of all the decisions that you make. So, I mean, it's hard to just like put somebody in a box and just say they're bad, then that's how you get like the Stockholm syndrome. I'm not sure if Stockholm syndrome is a real thing. I think there's like conflicting views, but that whole idea that when you're captured by somebody, then any nice thing they do, like give you food and water and not hurt you, suddenly that's like very complicated, and you are like it's like you fall in love with your captor or get a very sympathetic view of them, because they're like bad person, they captured you by force, have you at gunpoint, and it's like all these nice things that they do, you suddenly like shift your view of them, which is kind of like what I'm saying. Like you can't just like view somebody as bad, because then anything nice that they do is like like you can't comprehend it. People are like very mixed. They people are complicated, and it's not just like, there are no like perfect people. Everybody everybody has made mistakes in their lives. And, while there's like, some people are generally good and generally bad, there's nobody like who's perfect. And you got to be able to forgive not just other people, but yourself. And, not hold yourself to such a high standard, because you're just going to set yourself up for failure. So personally, I don't feel a whole lot of emotions just because I don't have any memories of that person. So, it was a nice little family history lesson, getting to hear a lot about them. And it was good getting family time and all of that. But definitely, it was funny. Like, that's the only way I don't know. I mean, of course, it was sad too, but just a lot of subverting expectations. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. Just like not a very typical service memorial thing. Anyway, sorry for putting my family's business out there and trauma dumping. Not to say that the funeral service wasn't emotional, just because they weren't very well liked, We still cried and shared our fond memories of them and all that good stuff. But, it wasn't a typical, it wasn't a typical service. And that's where I think the comedy came from. So, yeah. Definitely, it was definitely an emotional day of complicated emotions, that is, And, yeah. Anyway, that's all I really have to say. Yeah. It was definitely one of the days of all time, It wasn't great, it wasn't bad, but it was definitely a day. So, that's all. Anyway, no real closing thoughts. Workout kicked my butt. Every workout here is body weight. I didn't do a single weighted exercise, no resistance training at all. And I don't know, I was shaking, my quads burning. I'm dying right now. So that was fun. The fact that I did a workout with no weight at all. And yeah. All right. Well, that's all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Gonna have a nice little push day. Okay, bye.